I analyzed over 50 Y Combinator websites to find the best structure for your landing page. I looked at the last batch of Y Combinator startups from fall 2025, used an agent to get all of these websites into Figma and turn them into editable, customizable websites. Then I analyzed them to see which sections they use most, which they don't, and how they order the structure of their website. And based on that, I fine-tuned the perfect landing page structure that you can use for your website as well. All right, let's go right into it. So let me just quickly show you the file. It is available for you. I will add the link below so you can just download it. But it's basically 51 websites and they're clickable, they're customizable. So you can go right into them, copy them, change them if you want, whatever you want. Based on that, I looked at all the structures those websites have and created this prototype of a website structure. And here you have all the basic components of a website: the navigation, the hero, problem section, features, pricing, and so on. And I looked at all the websites and counted how many of those had which section. And what you see here is the green sections every website had, or almost every website. There were some one-pagers, or like one sections without any scroll. But most of the websites had a footer, final call to action, social proof, the features, of course, and a hero section with the navigation. Some of the websites, or most of them, had a problem section. They explained how the tool works. And only some of them actually had a pricing section, mainly because some of them had a separate pricing page. That's something you have to decide for your startup. And only some of them actually had an additional social proof section. Yes, those are rather new startups, so getting social proof is not that easy. However, there are a lot of different ways how you can get social proof on your website. Some of them more creative than others. All right, so based on this, I now want to walk through each section specifically and look at each component of the section, how some of the startups are doing it, and what you could add there to increase the conversion rate of your landing page. So if we look at the navigation, you usually have your logo, some navigation items, and a call to action. This call to action in navigation is something most websites use. So for instance, here you have the login and the try now button. You have a book a demo here, another book a demo. This is quite common with new startups that they don't have self-service yet, but still a good software. And that's how you can show the software without self-service. Again, here. So most of them have their main call to action at the navigation, which makes sense because you want to make it as easy as possible for customers or visitors to try out your page. All right, so if we go into the hero section, there are many different layouts how you can structure the hero section. The most common one nowadays is actually the centered headline, button, and below that a video or some other way of a demo of your product. So this is the main call to action button. You have to have it in your hero section because, again, you need to make it easy for your visitors. This is the headline, the most important part of a website, and it has to somehow tell the visitor what's in it for me. The subheadline, and then these are the logos. So social proof already in hero section. Now let's look at some examples. Maybe here again, you see exactly this layout. The headline, social proof already here, because even being in Y Combinator is some sort of social proof, and the main call to action. And after that, the product demo. Yeah, they, for instance, have a different layout, but what's consistent is some way of showcasing the product or an outcome of the product. For instance, here, a healthy elderly woman, a headline, subheadline, and the call to action. Here, headline, subheadline, and a call to action here is actually already a sign up. So some just add an email form there already, and if you type in your email, click get free trial, you are already one step ahead. But again, after that, product demo. So this is how you can structure your hero to increase your conversion rate. You show the product, you show social proof, and you make it easy to click. Then, not every startup or website has this section, but for my customers, I always recommend it because it's such a great way to connect with the user, the visitor. You tell them, hey, I understand your problem. I can relate to you and I want to solve it. So you usually have a big problem statement and then a few boxes of statements that support that big problem. Let's say creating presentations is hard, and then you say you don't know what to put in the slides, you don't know, you're not a designer, and I don't know, it's hard to collaborate, things like this. And let me actually find a website that has a problem section. Yeah, for instance, this website here, they have their logos, and then the first section after that is a problem section. AI is everywhere, but it's invisible, and they support it with 3 different statements, just to show the visitor, hey, we totally get it, and that's why our solution is even better. Here is actually a lovely website that highlights this product, this problem section again. They are basically saying they hear this from hotel groups over and over again. So like lack of staff, paralyzing receptions, poor availability, poor reviews. So these are things their audience can relate to, and that makes the next section, the features or the solution, even better. The feature sections are different. I can see them in many different shapes, but mainly you have one big solution statement, like the new way how to do AI. You have a subheadline, and then sometimes you have 3 different sections with solutions, or you have one big section as a product demo, maybe with 3 tabs, so you can click through the features. But in general, this is where you show off your product, and this is what most startups love to do, showing off their features, but usually they forget to attach a pain point to it. That's again why I love this problem section, because it already speaks to some pain points. So let's look at a few examples from the Y Combinator websites. For instance, here they present a solution. They have a big solution statement or feature statement, and here they already start with social proof, or with any type of proof. Here, some variations of features or solutions. So now let's look at the next section, social proof. Here again, many different variations of what you can do. Most of them have some type of testimonial with a big number or a big logo here, a picture of a friendly person, and some context here. Just after the features, this is the perfect place for social proof, because you back up why those features are great with a testimonial, with some numbers. All right, now let's look at a website with some social proof. So they highlight all their features. They even have a smaller section with additional features, or benefits, and then they share a testimonial or some sort of social proof. Here's another website where they have their features and then a testimonial, ideally with a friendly picture that is related to the customers that they want to attract. All right, now the next section, and it doesn't matter if your product is complicated or not, how it works section is usually a good idea. And usually you have like 3 boxes saying, hey, this is the first step, the second step, and the third step. And yeah, just quickly explaining how you get from where you are right now to a final solution or to your final dream outcome. So how would this look like in real life? For instance, here again, we see a success story or a testimonial, and then they go through the steps that you can take to go from step 1 to step 4. Here's another website showcasing how it works. So you basically prompt, reviews your suggestions, and then approve it. Very simple, but it's really hard to get to these types of, or to this level of copy, because you have to be very clear on how it actually works. And turning all the features, all the things you have in your product into 3 simple steps of how it works, it's not that easy. Then next section, pricing. Again, you usually have 3 boxes with the pricing plans. With the rise of AI, the pricing models now have different ways of how they could look like. So the 3 plans are not that not seen everywhere anymore. But let's look at a few examples here. For instance, this website here, they have early bird pre-order, and you can either do a subscription or a one-time payment. This is great because it shows a lot of pull from the customers. If someone is willing to pay for it once, they have a big pain point and they trust you coming up with the right solution. Here's another example for pricing. You have a free trial, you have a launch, and you have a custom model. Very simple, very basic. And after that is the call to action. Not many startups have more social proof at the end, at least at the stage that those startups are right now. If you look at bigger pages like from Stripe, Buffer, Notion, they have social proof everywhere. For early stage startups or startups who just launched, social proof is a bit harder to get. But here it could look like social proof with many different testimonials, like where the volume is important, or it could look like something where you just show one very important success story, case study, or testimonial. And then we have the final call to action, which is usually, again, a headline, subtext, and then ideally a very big button that prompts you to click here. The final call to action every site has, and it's usually after social proof, after the pricing, and before the footer. Sometimes you have an FAQ after the call to action because you want people to take action, and if they're still unsure, then the FAQs. The other way around wouldn't make that much sense. But yeah, let's look at some examples of the final call to action. In that example here, they have a calendar or a Calendly link. Here, they ask if you're ready to do some action with a call to action, of course. Here, more time coaching, less time analyzing, with 2 call to actions actually, which I wouldn't recommend, but in some cases it makes sense. Because you want to make sure that there's only one thing users or visitors can do, and that's the main action you want to have. Well, and then finally you have the footer, usually logo somewhere, maybe a newsletter sign up, and all the important links that you need in a footer. I don't want to go too much into detail here, but this is the end of the page, and hopefully your visitors already took action way before. So to recap, this is the structure I use for my clients, and it has been proven to increase the conversion rate just by the way how things are structured already. So you have the hero with the main call to action already, you connect with the problem, you show the solution and the features, you back up those features with social proof, you show how it works, how much it costs, and you add even more case studies, stories from customers or testimonials, and then you close it up with a final call to action. This is the structure that most Y Combinator startups already use, and if you want to have this strategy file as well as the file with 51 Y Combinator startups with editable website components, then just go down in the description and there is a link where you can download both of these. If you want to see more videos like this, just hit like and follow, and I hope I can see you in the next video.